Good job, boys. My allergies are getting to me. I have to go in and get a tissue here real quick. Be right back. So much pollen. All right. Happy Easter. Yo, Art. Yeah. The weather's about 70. Pretty decent. I was just watching Risk Business a second ago. Oh man, allergies are killing me. I've been sneezing every 5 minutes all day long. Man, I've got my pipe cleaners now. Oh man. Oh. Oh. It's one of the downsides of global warming. Jeez. Usually I take Benadryl, but some of that stuff just makes you sleepy. Jesus. Well, I'll do the generic allergy medication here. Thank you. It's going to be hard to smoke. Zyrtec. Oh, man. I was fine like 20 minutes before I hopped on. And I walked out here. And just a wave of pollen hit me. Oh, man. It's like eating peppers. Oh. Well, anyway, happy Easter, everyone. Now that I can breathe. Oh my God. In between sneezes, the Oak Alley is fantastic. This is the first. That's a good question, by the way. This is the first bowl of Oak Alley that I've had probably 6 months. I literally just cracked the tin open yesterday, and anytime you ever revisit an old favorite, there's always that thought in the back of your mind, like, is it going to be as good as it was the last time? And I think that's why subconsciously some people don't buy their favorite all the time, because it's almost impossible to improve upon the memory you had the last time. But quarter bowl way in, it's right on par with where it was 6 months ago. Very consistent. Matt RVA, happy Easter. I've had a few tins of Oak Alley aging. You got to pick a state, OH. You can't be in Ohio and Pennsylvania at the same time. That's just cheating. It's not. I had Night Train before. I remember Night Train. It was unique. I didn't buy it again, but I bought an 8-ounce tin the first time. That was enough for me. By way in Pennsylvania. Okay. That's a whole different story then. What's everybody else smoking? What have you smoked today? I feel like Popeye because this eye keeps watering. I need like an eye patch. Like a villain in a. Jesus, my eyes are red. Looks like I've been under FBI interrogation. Look at this. Jesus. It's hard to know if I have like worse than average allergies or about average. I guess it's been a long time since I've known someone who is like allergies are so bad they're almost like incapacitated. Where they have to get shots just to function. Dodgers and Ryans, 3 sales. I remember that very well. That 3 sales, it was such a shag cut. You can almost use it as kindling for a campfire. Zyrtec. OH, I want to ask a different question. What would happen if you didn't take Zyrtec? That's what I want to know. How bad how bad would it be? Would it be like what if you were born 50 years ago and there was no Zyrtec? How would you survive? I always ask myself that question. I remember that tin note. It was very golden. I'll take that as a compliment. If you could look this good not taking Zyrtec, then by God, why are you taking it for? Hmm. What's weird about allergies is they kind of come in waves. You'll sneeze and you'll sneeze and you'll sneeze, and then you have like 10 minutes. You think you're over it, and then it'll and then it'll start all over again. Oh well, I'll use my homemade theory of tobacco-based immunity. No, but Ocali is still just never let me down. And every time I reorder it, I'm thinking, okay, no tobacco can bat 100%. There's always going to be that like one bad batch. Has yet to happen with Ocali for me. The most consistent. Not even close. Oh, Matt RVA. You can't call yourself a pipe smoker if you never had Ocali. As long as you've been in the hobby for at least 2 years. It's such a fine balance of so many things that you don't. What makes trying to describe Ocali so challenging is that it's only having smoked roughly 150 blends, which is roughly what I've probably smoked to this date. But it's hard to describe it unless you've smoked that many, because it may not like knock your socks off, but it's pulling off like such a fine balance where so many other blends go wrong that you kind of appreciate the fact that it doesn't go wrong. So it's not that it's so amazing, it's that it has no flaws. And I think that's what is just truly impressive about Ocali. You almost have to smoke other blends for you to appreciate what it is, in my opinion. Mm. Some people describe food the same way at a restaurant, that not every dishes aren't amazing because the taste is amazing, but because of what it's pulling off in such a hard to get right balance, I would say. Oh, he's on the pudding. Pete is on the pudding. Pete is on the pudding. I know what a gardener is, and that's someone who plants and keeps vegetation alive. I wonder what the opposite of a gardener is. There's got to be like a, almost like a foe or antagonist to a gardener, because my two planting experiments last summer are officially dead, I think. It's looking a little sparse down there. A harvester? That's right. Yeah, I don't plant, I harvest. I sure harvested the life out of those trees over there. That's for damn sure. What is the main leaf component in Oak Alley? Oh, H, that's a great question, and I know I've looked it up multiple times on some of these live streams, and I'm always surprised, but I'm not going to do it again because it doesn't really matter to me anymore. I've smoked so much of this that I almost don't want to bias my opinion by looking at what's in it and what's not in it, because having smoked, I'm going to say I always buy in the 8-ounce tins. This is probably my eighth in life. That's a half a pound. So I've smoked 4 pounds of a blend that I love, and I don't want to know what's in it. I kind of like that mystery, because if I look it up again and I see that it doesn't have like Perique in it or something, then in my next puff, I'll think about, well, it doesn't have Perique, therefore it can't be spicy. And so I don't like to play with language. Is very important to me, and it colors your opinions and expectations of a blend. But all I know is amazing is amazing. Ingredients be damned. It's the hot dog of pipe tobaccos. I started smoking in 2018, and I made it way too complicated. Yeah, you need to follow up on that one, Matt. Made it way too complicated, meaning bought too much, too many of the same thing, or just too wide of a variety. Mm, maybe 25 pounds. Drowning in tobacco, I would say I'd say north of 25. You're in the drowning territory. Oh, yikes. Yeah, you need to stop buying. You really need to stop buying. $100's not even funny. Yeah, you need to start selling at this point. You probably have a very interesting collection. Bunch of oddball stuff. Matt, you don't happen to have any Villiger? Give me a second. It's not cocktail hour. After dinner? I made a video about this about 5 years ago, and then it soon went out of production. I found 2 aged tins on eBay, and they were fantastic. But it was like it was a last hurrah. Never expected to find amazing things from Villiger, but I did. It was by God amazing. I think in the video I took the tin all the way up to the top of a mountain, and I took a picture of it for the thumbnail. Like Moses walking up to the top of the mountain with the 10 tins. But now I will read it, because I realize I don't have to Google it because the tin is right in my hand here. Oak Alley, arguably the most famous of Louisiana's antebellum mansions, and certainly the most immediately recognizable. I didn't know it was named off the mansion. Oak Alley is a splendid namesake for this cellar-worthy new American standard. It's a partnership between sweet red Virginia and white and brown Burleys, discrete amounts of Perique, and Catrini Turkish. And I think it's the Turkish. Even though it was mentioned last, there's something about Turkish that adds like an oatmeal quality, like a thickening agent, if you will, most of the time. And I think if that Turkish wasn't in there, it might taste like a lot of other C&D blends, but it doesn't. It doesn't. And I think that's why, in the back of my mind, there's a small overlap between this blend and two other Oriental Cornell and Deal blends, which I'm struggling to remember the names. One is a GLP's, but I think that's the connection between the two. The 10 of 10. I'll Google it here. Damn it. It's not Oriental Silk. It's the other two. Cornell and Deal has two Oriental / Turkish forward blends, and I can't find them, but they're popular. It's just shoot. I'd recognize the name in a second. Nope, not Raj's Court, but that used to be one of my favorites too, which I haven't had in years. Regent's Flake. Regent's Flake. Regent's, I've had many a time. It's beautiful. And Temple Bar, yes, exactly. Temple Bar and Regent's Flake. Thank you. Stoic Dissension. That's what I was trying to recall. And I know this is, again, I'm 4 pounds in at this point. I never sensed the overlap between this and those two, but there is a little bit. And it's in the back. It's a best way I can describe it. I'm a meat eater and I eat meat almost every day, but occasionally I've had like a black bean burger or a portobello burger, both of which, to varying extents of success, can mimic cow. And that's kind of what Turkish and Oriental does for me. It's not that traditional Burley or Virginia, but it's similar but offers different qualities. And in combination, it can be, by God, beautiful. Now I wash my lighter. Oh, unami is soybeans, I believe.
What else is everyone smoking?
Savory. That's the right word. That's exactly the right word. I never knew what savory meant until like a year and a half ago. I walked into a coffee shop and they started labeling all their pastries as sweet or savory. And I'm like, why don't you just call it sweet and unsweet? Because doesn't savory just mean not sweet? I never understood. It seemed like an overly complicated adjective to describe something that just means not sweet. Like on a scale of sweetness, on one end would be sweet, on the other end would be savory. And even that doesn't make any sense because something that's sweet isn't by definition not savory. I think this warrants an investigation. I'm going to Google savory. Because if they're not opposites, then they shouldn't be used as opposites. Savory, belonging to the category that is salty or spicy rather than sweet. So it's just not sweet. Moncloud, we meet again. I thought Reeves did another blend for Turkish. It's hard to pin down. Savory, belonging to the category that is salty or spicy rather than sweet. For example, fresh pineapple is useful in savory as well as sweet dishes. Okay. Ooh, I like this one. The question is Moncloud savory? Well, using this definition, I think one could say he has a little bit of savory qualities. Savory is morally wholesome or acceptable. Everyone knew it was a front for less savory operations. That's a very complicated sentence. Okay, so if you're unsavory, then by definition you're sweet. So it's actually you're complimenting yourself. Sweet, savory, unsavory, sweet. Hmm. I just don't like fancy words when a less complicated word could be used in its place. Any other words that has troubled anyone here in the chat? Words that annoy you because you don't think they deserve to exist, or they're just useless. Somebody said something the other week. Oh, I have one. Disirregardlessness. I did hear someone type meeting a while back, and I thought that one had been drilled into me a long time ago, so I would never make that mistake. But you do pick it up pretty quickly. Here's one that annoys me. Compulsory. There's really no reason to use the word compulsory. I forgot if I showed off my my new hobby last time. But I bought a kayak back in January, and it's been warm enough to take it out the last couple weekends. And I bought a trolling motor and a lithium-ion battery, portable, tiny speedboat is the best way I can describe it. It's been a lot of fun. Definitely the best new hobby of the last several years. Literally. I literally hate the word literally. I smoked my cob twice earlier. Haven't smoked that in a very, very long time. And it reminded me that to this day, I've smoked that cob 10 times more often than I've smoked some of my most expensive pipes. And if I had a time machine, I can go back before I bought those fairly expensive pipes. Some of the Italian pipes, the big heavy pipes that look beautiful. You found yourself just not using that often. If I would have known that then, I could have bought a lot more corn cobs. Or just lighter pipes. Even, I don't know what my obsession was with 1 pound ginormous bowls that you can never even hope to clench. And it'd wear your arm out just trying to hold it. But they looked so impressive at the time. Kind of like a trophy, I guess. All right, guys, I'm going to call it a night. I'm going to wish you a happy Easter. Thanks for chiming in. And we'll see you next time when my allergies are hopefully gone. Take care.